Okay, hi, hello, my name is Tessa, and today I'm finally filming all the books that I have read in 2022. So I have, these are like all my 4-star reads, and then I have 5-star reads right here, and then everything else that I don't really have an opinion on. It's not that they're 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 star, some of them are, but it's just kind of everything else that you can take or you can leave. I don't know. But I don't really have much of an opinion on them. So I'll start with the 5 stars. Beyond Order by Jordan B. Peterson. Fantastic. I'm not going to go through what each one is about. Shane by Jack Schaefer. This was a Western. Probably my first Western, but not my last, because that was really good. A Confession by Leo Tolstoy. I call him Mr. Toasty, probably as does everyone else in my generation. I don't know. But yeah, this was a philosophical, religious read, and I enjoyed it. Then we have The Abolition of Man by C.S. Lewis. Great. Philosophical again. Also, it's very rainy here. Well, not very rainy, but it's very cloudy, so the lighting is weird. And if you hear very large wind gusts, that is what you're hearing. So your hearing is correct. Okay. 3 stories, short stories by Fyodor Dostoevsky. The Gentle Creature, Dreams of a Ridiculous Man, which that one was my favorite and the shortest, and White Nights. And then another by him, we have Notes from Underground. Fantastic. I think I need to reread it because some of it went over my head, but in general, fantastic read. Schoolgirl by Osamu Dazai. Sorry, that is very wrong. But a Japanese author, so that was good. I like that one. And then The War on the West by Douglas Murray. This one was probably my top 2. So this is number 2 that I really, really loved. And then my top 1, I implore you to read, is Brutal Journey, the epic story of the first crossing of North America by Paul Schneider. There is another version of this one, A Land So Strange. I think same story, different author, but I have yet to read that one. But this one was excellent, and that's my number 1 book of the year. Okay, let's move on to 4-star reads. So we have Live Not by Lies, A Manual for Christian Dissidents by Rod Dreher. I really enjoyed the first half of this book. The second half is more geared towards Christians, but still very good. We have The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli. I think I read this wrong. I was reading it sort of like as a statement of truth, but I think I just read it wrong, with the wrong idea of what it is. I don't know. I think I did it wrong. Anyways, Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. Oof. Again, Japanese. I really liked it. However, the way it is sold and what people write about it on the back and like the reviews, I think I read a different book than you. The author, the main character clearly does have a struggle mentally. I don't know how to put that politely. It's just gonna be blunt. She, her personality is not normal. And it's somehow hailed as, I don't know, just, I read something way different than you guys, and it's a good story, but it's not what people say. Just do it as that. Big Fish by Daniel Wallace. I watched the movie a couple years back, of course, and the book is just as good. A Nation of Victims by Vivek Ramaswamy. Again, great kind of like first half. The last 2 chapters, no, you can just throw that out. He makes great observations, terrible solutions. I have more opinions about these 4-star books. I guess I'm telling you why they're 4 stars. I didn't love them in their entirety, but okay. Oh, you know what? The Screw Tape Letters. I was on the fence of if this should be a 5-star or a 4-star. It might be a 4.5 star. It got a bit confusing. I just wish the author had more examples put in there so it was less abstract. And I could really see like what he was talking about. But otherwise it was really good. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. I think I struggled a little bit reading this in the beginning, but the more distance put between it, the more amazing it gets. It's actually a really great piece of literature. I think this would also be a 4.5. So by Mark Twain. That one was really good. Then we have Ice by Anna Kavan, which I think is a pen name, or she changed it legally. This was really good. This is a stream of conscious writing, so if you're not into that. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Okay, then we have The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn. Great short story. It was very all put together. Even though it did end slightly abruptly, it wasn't too abrupt. So then I have the Hunger Games trilogy. I actually liked all 3 of them. The one I liked least was probably Catching Fire because it was just a rehash of the first one, and that was like annoying to me. It was kind of like, why am I reading the first book, but different scenes? It was annoying. The 3rd book was actually, I thought, pretty good. So I don't know why people, boo-hoo it. I thought it was great. But obviously the first book is always the best. Then I have Unplanned by Abby Johnson. It's a pro-choice book, nonfiction. I liked it. And then we have The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. This was also really good. I think the first couple pages were difficult to get into, and you're kind of like, ugh. And then you get into it, and you're like, not too shabby. Okay, now everything else. Cinderella and the Glass Hill. This was a reread. I realized as I was reading it. It's just a child's book. And every morning the way home gets longer and longer. I was not really a fan of this. The cover is beautiful. Like, this is probably the most beautiful cover out of all my books here. But the contents aren't that great. I am discovering that Nordic books, I don't know what goes on with the translation, but I can't really, especially the humor. Nordic humor, I don't find humorous. It's very dry. But yeah, it's not like a bad thing, it's just a personal thing. So anyways, The Museum of Rain by Dave Eggers. This is a local book for me, so that was good. I also really like the cover. Short story. A lot of these are when I did my 30 books in 30 days challenge. That's why they're so short, which I did not complete. Bunnyicula. I don't think that's how you pronounce it, but that's how I pronounce it. It's a good child's book. The Emperor's Soul by Brandon Sanderson. Hot take. 3 stars probably. It was okay. Makes me apprehensive to read his other stuff. But good magic system. I just don't know if the story was fully there. The Shawl by Cynthia Ozick. Interesting. Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. It was great up until the ending. The ending, I don't understand. Just doesn't make sense for her character. The first 2 books in the Unfortunate series of unfortunate events. We're getting darker and darker. The sun is setting. Ooh, lighting. So yeah, I mean, I don't really have opinion about child's books. They're children's books. Except this one. The BFG. That's too harsh. We'll work with it. Bear with me. So this book, I don't understand why people say it's a good book. Honestly, it's just like a prequel to mass murder, to be honest. I mean, it is. It justifies rounding up an entire species because they were mean and they eat people. That might be a problem. But instead of trying to work with them, they just say, you know what, you're not worth it, and let's round you up. Okay, so that's okay. You know, it just doesn't make sense why people like it, and then people find other problems with it, which I don't see the other problems. But nobody talks about the prelude, or is that the right word? Prelude to like mass murder and, you know, roundup of people you don't like. So nobody, somebody, and anybody. This is probably a 1 star for me just because of like the reaction. But the book itself is okay, as long as you ask questions. But nobody asked those questions. Okay, this book was okay. It's contemporary, not my favorite. By Kelly McClory. I think that's her debut. The last book in the sort of Truth series by Terry Goodkind, it is called War Heart. I thought it was pretty good. I think there was some things, you know, sometimes he talks long-winded, but that's okay. That's just his style. And yeah, then I have The Santa Suit by Mary Kay Andrews. This was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. No spice. It's contemporary, romance, holiday season. It was actually very enjoyable. I like that one. We have 2 Christmas with, so that's like a series name, I don't know. L.M. Montgomery and Louisa May Alcott. I would prefer the Louisa May Alcott one over Montgomery, but Doppler, another Nordic book by Erland Lowe. Yeah, I think the target audience was male, and I didn't understand the humor. So that's okay. That's just not for me. And then I have How the Grinch Stole Christmas, a classic, and ABC of Childhood Tragedy, Volume 1 by Dr. Jordan Peterson. I really like Dr. Jordan Peterson, and some of these poems were good. Some of them I didn't like they didn't make sense. Perhaps, I think he has the context in his head, but yeah, I guess I just like, I like context, I like examples, I don't know, I like a little more, but the pictures are amazing. I don't know if I'm allowed to share. And it smells amazing. I like the smell of picture books, but that was a good book, but I don't really have much of an opinion about it. I guess like with all poetry, some hit, some don't. But I guess that's pretty normal. Now, I did read one book on Kindle, which I have it over there, but it was a romance book, spicy. I think it was called Waking Olivia. I think it was a sports romance. She was like a track star in college. There's like an age gap, but I don't, by like 3 years. Okay. What an age gap. Anyways, so that was it. Those are all my books that I read. I hope to read more. I think I want to read like 50 books this year in 2023, because it's 2023. But I think in total I read 42 books. Okay, so that's it. Please take care of yourself. Please take care of your family, and have a really good day. the power went out. I don't know when I'm gonna upload this, Cal. Some people have been without power for a few days.